Dream Team? It's your boy D Neil back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with lies about India. Before we jump in, make sure you guys subscribe, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. See what we working with.
The week before traveling to India, I was completely scared, petrified. I was having nightmares in the night. I could not sleep well.
Oh,
Meet
wow.
Sarah. She's from Spain and has been living in India for 8 years. Together with her husband, a former street boy, they founded a cafe in Mumbai run only by former street children. During our chat, Sarah shared her initial prejudices about India before arriving there, discussed why Europe lacks the strong sense of family compared to India, and explained how the lives of street children are transformed through their cafe. I'm Max, let's dive in.
What did you know about India? What was your expectations about the place before moving here and how it changed?
The first time I came here to India, it was in 2012, and I came as a tourist. And I never thought of coming to India. I was sharing an apartment with friends. I was 24 years old in that moment. And they told me, Sarah, would you like to go for a trip and travel India for 3 weeks? And I thought,
That's so cool.
Okay, I've never thought about it, but let's go. So I didn't have any idea what was the country about.
Okay.
And then
That's so freaking cool. Hey, would you like to go for a trip, travel India for a couple of weeks? Oh, yeah, cool. I'd like to do that. I feel like it'd be really cool. I don't know, just to travel. And I think India would be a dope place to travel to. But just to get the chance to travel would be really cool.
many of my friends and many of my relatives were saying, Sarah, you know where you are going. India is not an easy country. There is a lot of corruption. There is a lot of sexual aggression as well, rapes, all of that. So I was getting scared. And then I remember that the week before traveling to India, I was completely scared, petrified. I was having nightmares in the night. I could not sleep well. So then when I took the trip, I was like this. When I arrived, I mean, the country was...
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm happy that she pushed through and went and got to see for herself. But if I was that scared, dog, if I'm having nightmares a week ahead of time, I probably would say, you know what, I'm probably not gonna go. But I'm glad that she did.
So different, you know? So different that I didn't have any expectations, but then I got to know that, okay, it's a place that I want to know more about it because it's something I could not even imagine. You know, the kind of structure, cities, cultures, religion, it was out of my mind. What happened later is that when I went back to Spain, I wanted to process, but I was hungry of knowing more about the country. So I was not having expectations of I want to come here and work and make a family, which happened. That was throughout the years. But I was having the hunger of knowing more, and I want to do something for the country because there are some areas in which you can also help, right? I was thinking I will come here and I want to volunteer and I want to help in some way. When
That's
I came
awesome.
the second time, it was as a tourist also, I realized that you come here as a volunteer, but then you are not helping anyone. You are helping yourself to understand that country, to understand the culture, to understand what's happening in the world, you know? Because you come here, you do some work, which they can do with or without you, and then you leave. This place will continue doing whatever they have been doing. But the change is in yourself, in your mentality. So that was my biggest learning.
What was the change, the biggest change with you?
For me, it was more about how people is happy with very simple things, you know? So someone comes to your home, they will open the house for you, they will make you feel very comfortable, they will die for you. In Europe, that is not happening. I mean, if someone comes home, they will serve you water and that's it. Here, maybe they don't have money, but if you are going to their home, they will make sure that they are bringing you chicken, which is something that is very expensive for them, but they want to make you feel comfortable, you know?
Wow.
And just the
I
joy-
absolutely love that. So, know what I'm saying? They have very hospitable. I couldn't get the word out of my mouth. But they show amazing hospitality to guests, right? And something that they usually probably like chicken. They usually don't get chicken. It's very expensive. But, right, you come into their home, they're gonna try to give you the best experience possible. It sounds like they're gonna show you as much hospitality as possible. You coming into their home as a guest, and I think that's absolutely incredible. That kind of love It's genuinely
I
awesome.
mean, that is very expensive for them, but they want to make you feel comfortable, you know?
Love that.
And just the joy of having you in their place, that is what it matters for them. And I think that these
That's awesome.
values we are missing. And something that I also like a lot from here is that it's like they have a community that is very strong and they will help each other. And over there it's more difficult. I mean, if someone here, for example, now with my family, okay? I have a baby. I can come here to the cafe. I just leave my baby with any one of the boys and the girls of the cafe, and they are happy to
Wow.
take care of the baby. They will never say no. You know,
Wow.
over there it's like, okay, 1 hour, that's it.
Yeah, yup.
You know,
That sense of community is also incredible. I always love places that have such an incredible sense of community, where it's not just me. It's just me looking out for myself, and my problems are my problems, your problems are your problems. No, it's a community. Everybody looks out for each other. Everybody takes care of each other. If you're struggling, let me help you. If I'm struggling, can you help me? Love that.
So this kind of warmness and community, I mean, it's simple things of life. It's more about feelings. It's more about connecting to each other. And over there, we are starting to miss that. So here, as long as this is fixed, maybe they can sleep in a very small house, which is the size of your car, but they will be happy because they have that connection. They have that family building sense. Which
Incredible.
over there, unless you don't have a big house and you have your room for your child and your food every day, maybe even you have all of this, you are not happy. With a small thing, we get depression. And here, with a small thing that you give, they get very happy. So that was my biggest
Love
takeaway,
it.
I could say.
Yeah.
And I wanted to experience more and I wanted to shift my mind. So then, not only about this, I also thought that, okay, I am a good teacher, I can come here, I can go to teach not only children but other teachers as well. But then that was like one of my expectations, to come here, experience the country, understand the country, but also give back to the community. But then I realized that I was learning much more than me teaching to each other, to the others, you know?
What would be your advice to someone who wants to move to India or like try India to work here, maybe to do business? Like let's say for the Westerner, like someone from Europe.
I think that it's essential that first they come and they experience India, because it's not an easy country. I mean, now even though I am talking about all the good things, traffic is
Yeah.
difficult. So maybe you can get stuck in traffic for half an hour, 1 hour or 2 hours for just doing 3 kilometers, you know? So if I want to go from
dang.
here to my home, if I go at 7 in the morning, I take 10 minutes. If I go at 12 p.m., I can take 1 hour. So that is the difference, because the traffic is so much. No?
Jesus.
So it limits you. It limits you a lot, because if you want to go out with friends or if you want to go and for shopping or do basic stuff, the traffic will limit your life. So I think it's very important that they come here, they experience it. They also, the way of working with people is different.
I think you gotta. I'm sure. I just watched a video about like the trains where they're coming up with different public transports to kind of work their way around that, and I think that's really amazing. But yeah, if there's one thing that I just absolutely hate, I ain't gonna lie, it's got to be traffic. Like the big cities here in the U.S. do not like living in big cities. For me, I feel like I'm more of an introverted person, so it's just too many people for me. I don't like huge groups of people. It's too many people. But then on top of that, it's just traffic. Like it takes forever to get somewhere, and it's like I love living in small towns and small cities where I can get where I need to go at any time of the day, and it's never going to take me too long to get there. It's always going to be quick, get back home. But yeah, I've experienced big cities, and they're not for me. They're not. I'm a small city person. So traffic is one of my Achilles heels.
They come here, they experience it. They also, the way of working with people is different. You know, the way of understanding each other is different.
What's the difference?
Collaborative work, especially. So at times they can collaborate well, but at times they can be very individualistic. I mean, they can just work on their own, and if you need help, unless you don't go there and ask them like every single detail, you might not be understanding.
What's the biggest reward people can get if they actually settle in India and like the place?
It's a place that you have lots of fun. I mean, all the culture, all the festivals that you have here. It's a place that for example, in August, you start with the Ganesha, and we say that we put the lights, the Christmas and the street lights in August because of Ganesha, and they remove them in December after Christmas because there is festival after festival, you know, and it's so
Hey,
much light.
that's awesome.
They are very, very alive. They can be outside. There is like a big crowd of people dancing with light music. And every festival is so different and unique that you have lots of fun.
Let's talk about your cafe, this project. It's
Yes.
like, it's super interesting. I like researched a lot about it.
So the thing is that I came here to Bombay basically because I wanted to have a change of life. Okay, I was in Spain and I was like a little bit feeling that my life was kind of monotonous, you know. It was, I was doing always the same thing. And India was a country that I really had a lot of interest. And then suddenly I got into my hands, the one who's my husband right now, but I mean Sheikh book.
Yeah.
And this book was about my husband, life. He used to
Oh,
be a
wow.
street child. So when he was 5 years old, he ran away from home and he lived for 3 years on the streets. Then he went to an orphanage, and I will not explain the whole life right now because I will stay 1 hour.
Yeah.
But basically, because he was a street child and he got people who gave him opportunities, he wanted to give back to the society, and he wrote a book.
Dang.
And with the proceeds of the book, he built this cafe. This cafe is a
That's
cafe
so
that is,
awesome.
giving employment and education and housing to former street boys and girls who, like my husband, they were living in the streets when they were children.
Living on the streets, so you're homeless.
There are some children that the family was in the street already and they
Yeah.
were born in the street. There are many children that here in India, they born in the street, live in the street, and they die in the street because they don't have a home. Other children, they run away from their places because the life with their family is hard, which is the case of my husband. So when he was 5, when he was 3, he started working already in a bakery. And he was going to factory to provide, to give chai
Wow.
to the employees. So imagine a 3-year-old children.
Wow.
3-year-old child, he
Wow.
was working already.
Oh
He
my
was
God.
deprived.
That's
of sleep.
wild.
So then when he was 5, he was working in a tea shop and he was cleaning all of the glasses because he was having a small finger, so it was easy for him. And then he had to bring the chai to one factory and he wanted to play. And he was playing while he was having all the chais in one basket. And then he fall, all the glasses they broke, and then he was scared. He knew that if he was going back home, he was going to be beaten by their family.
Oh.
If he was
Wow.
going back to the tea shop, he was going to be beaten by his boss. So he didn't know what to do. And he started running away. And he ran away until one train station. And then he started living there because he was so scared of coming back home.
When he was like 5,
Wow.
6,
5 years.
5-year-old.
That's legit insane to think. Like, a 5-year-old legit, like, running away, like, being homeless, like, no one looking out for you. You're 5 years old on your own. I can't even fathom surviving on my own at 5 years old, dude. Like, that's wild. But her husband sounds like an incredible person. As soon as, you know what I'm saying, he got the proceeds from the book, he built the cafe, and he's giving jobs to other street boys, and it sounds like he definitely gives back a lot and tries to help as many people as he can because he came from that life, and I love that. He just wants to be able to give back and help the next guys, right? It's awesome.
He was so scared of coming back home.
When he was like 5, 6?
5 years.
5-year-old.
That's wild.
And he lived in the street for 3 years.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it was very hard to live in the street because everything happened to children. They start learning how to pick food from the garbage, pick up food from the garbage, or to work, like singing songs to get some money, or begging, or polishing shoes as well. They do different kind of jobs, and it's hard because they are small children. But apart from that, they are starving. They don't have like a nice place to live, and then because of they are sleeping in the train station, anything can happen. They can come, they can hit you, they can make you, they can push you to take drugs, or they can rape you as well, which was the
Wow.
case of my husband. He went through all of this when he was 5 in the street, living in a train station. He told me that the first 6 months that he was living in the street, it was like a hell because he didn't understand what was happening and why all of these things were happening to him. But after those 6 months, he learned how to protect himself, and then he could be like a criminal also. He could throw stones, and if he had to kill someone, he never did, but he was ready to do it, to protect himself. So the life in city is
Jesus.
very, very hard. And that's
That's a
why
scary
when he was
life.
8, someone came from an orphanage, which is called Sneka Sadan, and then they took him to the orphanage. When he went to the orphanage, all his life changed because he was protected, he was taken care of, he was loved, he was not pushed to go and work. It was like a big family. In that orphanage, they had 400 children. So they have
Oh
different
my
houses
God.
around Bombay, and in each house there were about 20 children. But the thing is that they send me to school, and I mean, my husband, he was not good at studies. I mean, he could not process, and he was always being sent for doing like chores of the school, cleaning, washing, and all these kind of things. So then when he became 18, obviously he was not good at studies and in the school, so he was doing jobs like driving rickshaw or cleaning cars and all of that. And he got the opportunity to go and work as a man Friday, which means someone who can clean, drive, cook, whatever, in an artist's home.
Jesus.
This artist was Justice Fernandez.
I
which
just
was
gotta give so much respect to her husband because that man is, he gonna go and get it. He gonna make it happen. No matter what he's got to do, no matter what kind of work he had to do, he was gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And I absolutely love it. You feel like over here in the West, it's like people are very picky about what they do, and people look down on certain jobs, and it's like people think they're too good for certain jobs, and it's like nah, like my guy was like, no matter what I have to do, no matter what job, like I gotta go out here and figure it out and do it. I gotta survive, I gotta eat. At the end of the day, gotta put money in your pocket. And so it was like no job was too small for him. And I absolutely rock with that and respect it.
cook, whatever, in an artist's home. This artist was Justice Fernandez, which was a very famous artist of Bombay. He started working for him and he was living in the same place as him. Because of that, he started knowing people from all around the world because this artist was always welcoming people from all around the world, but especially from Barcelona. And then his boss gave him as a present a trip to Barcelona and they went together.
Oh, wow.
And it was because of
Wow.
this trip that he started this cafe. When he went to Barcelona, the first thing that he realized that there were no families living in the street. And he was saying, how can this be possible? There are two different cities. Here in India, he was saying it's a place that it is known by this spirituality, but they are so disconnected from the reality because there are so many people living in the streets and they're not helping to each other. They are not fighting for having like a place where everybody can have a home. But then in Barcelona, there were no children in the street. There were families, no, there were no families in the street. Maybe there would be some beggars, but like single people. But there were
Yeah.
not a single children in the street.
Yeah.
He said, and then this made him believe that he wanted to do something to change the society here in Bombay. And then when he came with the idea of writing a book about his life, and by selling the book with the proceeds, he started this cafe.
That's
This
so
is our
awesome.
main message. We want everybody to feel welcome at the cafe because we don't want to make any difference, either if they are from different religions, from
Love
different
that.
sexual orientations, or from
Love
different
it.
castes. Everyone is welcome.
So in this cafe, like your staff, they all from the streets, or
They are basically from the same orphanage that I'm in Griwa, Sneha Sadan, most
Yeah.
of them. And then there are some that they are coming from slums.
Ami knows me, the founder of this cafe, since I was child, 4 years. So he has seen me grown up, like how I grown up. After leaving orphanage, I met him. And then he said, Khushbu, you have a lovely design, you have a lovely creation and all. Why are you working for others? I said, what I can do? I don't have options. I have my own shops and all. So how I can work for myself? So he said, okay. So that time the cafe was not exist. But he showed me one dream that this is what I'm going to do in the future. If you're ready to welcome. And then afterwards we started selling books in traffic signal, wherever we get the chance and all. And first time I saw Amin was begging for us because his word when it comes out, it is very powerful. Like usually he don't say for say because people sometimes they come and they just say, okay, I'm going to do for you this and that. And in a minute they forget. But he has begged for us to make my dream reality, make other people, other children dream reality what they want to become. Right now, I can talk in front of you. If you have seen me 5 years or 6 years back, I was a person I cannot talk in front of anyone.
Wow.
Very shy. If he introduced with anybody, I used to cry. So now, what
Wow.
Cafe has given me confidence, identity, and be who you are, not what they wants me to make.
What's the three best things
Bro,
for you?
this is so awesome. Like, this is absolutely incredible. Hearing these people's stories, and especially how her husband, like, it sounds like he's helped so many already. And he definitely is a dreamer. He definitely is a helper. He definitely is community first. Definitely reach out a helping hand to people in need. And you can't help but love that.
About living in India.
Family, that is the first one. Then profession. I have grew up a lot as a teacher, and there was something that I could never imagine. And then this our cafe, because it is helping me to be always humble and touch the ground and make me remember that I am so lucky to be to have grown where I have grown and to be born where I was in Europe, that we had all the facilities, and then it is like every day slapping my face and saying, be proud and be grateful to what you have.
If you want to hear more stories of inspirational,
Man, that was truly just phenomenal. And I absolutely loved hearing that story. Her husband's incredible. She's incredible. Everybody in that cafe is incredible. That's all we have. Make sure you guys subscribe, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up. It's your boy D Neil, out.